Hey guys and gals, welcome back to what I believe is the 7th installment of building the 2023 campground. And so today we're going to be focused on these two pieces here. We got these two done in the last installment. And yeah, you're going to see me bumping into the tripod a lot because this thing is up pretty high. And here I have a cross section of what we're going to be using. This is the existing campground that I built on my YouTube channel. I need to match it up with this side here. Okay, so that's pretty much what I got to do here. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to set this one off to the side. We're going to focus on this piece here. And I want to do the lower part right here and then the road. Because this is terrain that goes up to here. After I get done with that, I'm going to blend it with this one and do that. So let's do the road first. All right, so we're going to set this one off to the side here, and I had to clean up the guest bedroom again, so yeah, I got to go and find all my bins. I had to make the bed in here, the sofa bed. All right, so that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So let's see if I can get this a little closer here where it looks a little better for your reference and for mine. And I got some news to tell you guys and gals today. A lot of things I got to wiggle around here to get this thing to work. I got to tighten this thing up a bit. So the first thing is that the tiny house, if you've been following that, I'm 95% done with proofing the video and doing the roof of it. So you could build it all the way up to the roof and everything's fine. It's easy to follow. Okay. The rough building guide I've been working on slowly, so it's almost done. I just got the loft bedroom instructions done. I just got to do the roof, and that will be that. So for the person who is whining and calling me names, throwing a temper tantrum, yeah, there you go. And now let's get started on this. I gotta find the bin with the bricks. Remember in the last installment we were talking about connecting this up. I'm gonna work on this part here first. And I'm gonna have to put in some cobblestones in here. So what I'm gonna do, I've been cleaning up some stuff in here too. I have a couple of clean containers that I have been managing to clean out from parts and stuff. So I'm going to put the medium nougat 2x2s in here, and then we're going to proceed on with the cobblestone effect. So I turn off my tablet. I've already replaced the battery in it once. I don't need to kill that one off again. So yeah, I'm going to try to get as much done today as I can. I'd like to see if I can get the terrain and the topography all done, and then I can turn my attention to the accessories, which is trees, shrubs, plants, bushes. And if I have to get up suddenly, I have to stop the video, I may have to do that. So, some of you know my situation. All right. So what I'm going to do here is start adding, oh, there's a 2x4. We don't want to waste that. We'll put that at the end there. Put that there. The reason why I want to start with this one first, why don't I start with the easy one? Because this one's going to take the longest. And I really get the hard stuff done first. And I think I have some dark tan 2x3s, but we'll just piece it in with a regular brick. I would stick plates in there, but you all know my situation from the last installment. I ran out of parts. So what does that mean? I just have to go in here and piece through these. So if you run out, you can always substitute. Yeah, okay, I had a comment the other day on my, you know, that queer eye set that I built on here a couple of weeks back, or maybe a month or so ago. Well, it didn't take long for somebody to take it seriously on my main channel because I just released the review portion of it, the finalized review, the condensed review. And the guy understood that I buy those sets for parts. It's like, people are going to question your sexuality. I'm thinking, what does that have to do with the video? I bought it for parts for MOCs. So as of now on my main channel, I am no longer, actually even on this channel too, I'm no longer going to answer questions as to where to get parts. If somebody needs help cross-referencing parts, or what sets to get, what good sets to get parts out of, I'm not going to answer that anymore. You know, I'm kind of pooped out from that. And people take this stuff so seriously. Why, I don't know. I'm like, really, you know, and there's always somebody out there who does that. And later on, the same dude is asking me, where's the parts list for one of my builds? I just shook my head. And I need to get a replacement for that. And in addition, I got 2 more set offers I need to accept, and then I'll be doing those. Let me get a couple of 1x2s, and then we'll proceed on with filling in that hole there and all that stuff. All right. Well, let me just drag the whole thing out. It'd be faster. I'm looking for that and medium nougat. So sand yellow, medium nougat. Fill these holes in. There we go. Okay. Now, this little booger here, I'm going to put right there in the middle. So, well, that doesn't want to go in pretty easily. I'm just going to tack it in place. I'm going to need to get some other bricks and set them in here, because I want to preserve these. So let me get the bin out. Everything's been picked up. I don't like to keep everything stranded around the room all night either. You know, I kind of pick things up and that kind of thing. So I grab a bunch of 2x2s, and then we're going to get started here. And I'm also shadow filing up the build, whatchamacallit, we don't need to put that right there. I'm going to take, that needs to be levitated up a little bit, so I'm going to put a 1x2 here. Yeah, we've been getting hit with a lot of snow out in my area. Kind of cool. No snow where I'm at specifically, but we've been getting kind of pounded with it here. And hey, it's a nice treat from waking up and looking at a desert. Yeah, let's put a gray one in there. Well, I just broke a tutorial. Already filmed it. Throw that out of the way. Yes, guys and gals, I am surrounded by tutorials that are incomplete. Some tutorials have just been filmed, and I'm just tripping over stuff. I think I've outgrown this Lego room. There we go. At least you get to hear the behind the scenes on here. A lot of the guys don't do that. All right. Well, this one's not squeaky or crunchy today. I think that one came out of one of those Indiana Jones sets too. Okay. I'm not going to leave it square like that, but you can see we're slowly going uphill here. And now I want to bring these up a little higher. And I got to go get the studs. Remember we did the stud method? I'm going to do that again. And I just parted out a bunch of sets the other night too. So I got more parts that are of no use. Oh, something flew off. So you will be my next victims to be installed on the bottom. All right. kind of wiggly there. Now I'm going to have to add more studs to that then. Now let's put the black ones there. We'll put some grays on the outside. Yeah, I downloaded a new mod my friend mentioned me from Minecraft called Cobblemon. It's like Pokemon for Minecraft. And I thought it was going to be, you know, well, I tried Pixelmon, and it's very hard on resources. So I tried Cobblemon, and it seems to run pretty smooth for what it is. It's kind of more Minecrafty. So I thought, oh, maybe I have a winner. And there's a furniture mod I want to test out too from my gameplay experience. And no, it's not Mr. Crayfish, because I think his is only available in Forge. And I'm moving from Forge to Fabric, and I'm going to make a paper server eventually. Just because Forge never really updates their stuff. They're kind of like the last of the updaters. I've been thinking about writing up my own mod thing, but I want to have to write up mods and stuff too. Alright, let's fill that hole in there. The road on this one's pretty straightforward, so it's not like it's more time consuming than anything. So what I'm going to do is we're going to build up the terrain after we're done with this. I'm going to work on the bottom portion here first. Right here will be done first. And then the second thing I'm going to be working on... Okay, do I have another empty container around here? I'm tired of grabbing the brown ones. Hold on. Let me find one. Usually I keep a bunch stacked over here. I'll take number 9. I'm going to have to use this once the new sets come in. And now I'm not grabbing the wonky colors. Alright. And there we go. But I'm just going to try to get as much done as today as I can. I'm not going to do any of the landscaping. I'm just going to do that and get this part here completed. I notice these are getting some good views on them. Well, for this channel anyways. I need to raise those up too. This is one way to conserve your bricks and plates, is doing this. Yeah, because this is as close to some of us are going to get for camping for a while. So for somebody like myself, this is kind of like a treat to build, is to kind of get this going here to kind of show off and exhibit. Okay, in here I'm just going to feather this off here and some right here. This piece is sitting on top of here. I'll put a plate on top of that. Okay, and just kind of wrap around. So I'm not going to tear all that out. Yeah, it takes a lot of time, you know. Feel free if you want to fast forward through this. A lot of people told me they watch these just for room fillers, like noise fillers. I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, you know, some people, I do that too. I'll listen to somebody who does long videos. There's this vintage technology electronics guy that I watch, and his video, I don't know, his voice is so calming that I could just listen to him. He just talks about some stuff. I learned some new stuff from him because I'm into vintage electronics too, and it's kind of a treat to listen to him. I keep bumping in the tripod because I'm working off to the side here. Boy, these studs are just flying off the table today. Now I'm saving all the green ones and stuff because I may need them for, like, to put some ground cover or something on them. But Yeah, but some people say, "Oh, don't you get mad when people do that? Use your stuff and listen to it like that." I'm like, no. And that over there will have to be plated in. Sadly, I do have a plate that would work on that. You know what? Let's take that out. Well, let me set that there, and then let's put this one here. And then here, I left that in there. And the reason why I left this in here is a marker. So I need to come in there and stick a plate. I got plenty of 2x4s. So for me, it would just be easier to stick a 2x4 here. And it sinks in, of course. So let me get myself a 1x2. Doesn't matter what color, and I need a dark gray. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever really bought any of these except for maybe cool yellow and spring green. Oh, I should have gotten more. Oh, oh, how do I get that out of there? I forgot to put the studs at the bottom. There we go. There we go. Get that out of there. I'll take care of that here in a bit. And then I like the way that's sounding. Yeah, but it's in there okay. All right. Yeah, this table, I've outgrown this table. Okay. Just fill those holes in, I think we're good. And once I'm done with this, I won't need that. What? Oh, I was going to say, I don't need the studs to spill all over the place. Keep the green one out. I need just those, and then the road will almost be done. Almost, as in, I got to get some 1x2s. And those, I am going to have to dig out. Okay. And I guess dark tan is getting to be hard to find. Well, there's some right in the corner. And I need to find one that's a medium nougat color. Well, let me just bring the whole bin over there. We can look together. Okay. Well, I literally, I tell you, when I do my next Lego table, I'm going to see if I can get some, side tables. So when I'm sitting in the middle, I can put bins on all sides of me. Would be pretty cool. I can just sit and have work like inside of a horseshoe. Would be pretty helpful. Well, I was hoping I'd have a medium nougat that goes here. Just to kind of, I don't want to use too much dark in that area. So I'm going to do that right there. And then, well, what I can do is stick this here. And I'm covering one of those up, but guess what? We're done with the road stuff. So let's see if I can find another one to set in there. And it'll be like that. And maybe one right on top of that medium nougat there. Okay. And yeah. And now I got the road going up here. I just need to fill in that hole there. Clean up some areas. And I think we are done with roads. And that means that all I have to, well, maybe right here I'm going to need to put a piece there. I feel like I'm going to need to, I feel the need to place something there. There we go. And then I'm going to pop this one out here. Well, let's pop this one out. And then I'm going to put in this right here. Okay. And I don't have any medium nougat 1x2s, so I will have to make a note to put that on my list of things to buy. And there you go. And then we'll fill that whole pothole in the road. We don't want somebody to walk and trip in that or drop their cell phone in there. There we go. Right there. Okay. This area here, I'm not too worried about because I'm going to have some of this spill on the road here because I don't need this whole stud. So I'm just going to come in here and do that to kind of clip it. Remember, this is part of that driveway here. And we're going to build that up. But I think what I'm going to do is focus here first. In this area here. And I'm not done with 1x2s yet. So I'm going to set those off to the side. Because now I want to build up the terrain here a bit. Okay, so like right here, I built this up a little bit. I need to build this up a bit more. Just kind of go around here and drop it as I go. I kind of want to continue this on. And I looked at my side view. There's no base plate exposed. I just got to graze this over. So I'm going to kind of wrap it around here. And I believe here on the bottom left, it's a 4. No, it's a 6 there. It's a 6 right here, but this, the one next to it's 11, this one's 10. So I'm going to just put a 6 here. And then kind of just, I'm going to go like here and tie it in. With a little bit of an area here. That's where I want to start. So what kind of plates do I put in there? It just depends. I don't like stacking plates on base plates. So I'm just going to grab, I can either use 2x2 or 2x2s, 2x4s, or 4x4s. 4x6s would be helpful too. Or you know what I could do is grab some 6x6s. First I got to find the bin that had all those in there. I'm not using 6x8s. And of course it's always the bin you need is at the bottom. That's how it goes, right? Okay, so let's get rid of all the bright green that we don't need. Or is that all that's in here is bright green? I see one dark green. Oh, the dark greens are at the bottom. Oh, great. Now this is going to be a while. Okay, let me move some stuff out of the way up here. And, well, Jay, what's the difference? Well, light green is just, I don't know, it just doesn't look too foresty enough. I'm just going to grab, see how long 3 of them go. You could use dark green too if you want. I may need to reorganize this bin anyways, so I got 3 and 4. I got a bunch of dark green in here, or earth green. All right, let's just grab 6 and see where that takes me here. Okay. Now I can go down to base plate if I choose, but now this is the problem I was telling you about here. Putting these on here like this is kind of brutal. They're not hard to peel up, but you know. So we're going to go right about to here. And how many of these can I fit in here? Well, you know, I mean, it's bound to happen. Kind of mash all these plates down on here. That's why I did not want to do this, but you know, for the sake of finishing this project up, I guess we will have to. And I want to save these for up here. So that one's slightly lighter. Could be a different mold too. Matter of fact, it doesn't really matter. This is all going to be hidden anyways with some trees and shrubs and stuff, so it doesn't really matter. And then when we get to stuff like this, I will just continue on wrapping this around or something like that. So these plates are not going to be useless by any means. And that's where the studs will come in for the back. I'm just building up the back part of the base of the terrain first. And I said I want to kind of swoop it around here, so I'm going to add some plates there. And let's just do that real quick. So I'm thinking something like this here, probably around there. So I'll stick that there. And then I'll come around like this and then bring it back. Okay, so stuff like that might be fine. And that's a little too much there. Would that be fine? No. Even if I put it there, it's not good enough. Let's go get ourselves a 2x6 and then we'll start on that. It's like I've mentioned though, the one thing that you're going to do is when you build up the terrain and you put your plants on here, you won't see any of this, so it takes the blockiness out of the way. And then I will set this one right here, and then now I can start building the terrain up like this. Okay. I want it to come like that. You know what? I'm going to pop that out of there and get a 1x6. Kind of just swoop around that corner there. Okay, and then I'm going to come in here and do it like that, and then I'll come up here. So we're getting close to swooping that around. And I'm putting a stud in the middle here just to, you know, if I have to press on it, I don't have to break the plates. That means I get up to here, I can probably set that in here or that. Okay. So now I can come in here and do this one like that. Now it's got a nice soft curve, and I can use one of these. Yeah, so these are not meant to be any kind of training videos for anybody who's watching these for terrain building, but I'm hoping just to kind of give you an idea of what's involved here. There we go, got that nice swoop. And now I just gotta kind of bring it back around here. I can leave it like that too, or start bringing it back. Well, let me go mine some more of those out real quick. I'm going to reorganize this bin anyways. It's so full of parts. The colors that I normally don't use are at the top, and the ones I use are always at the bottom. So I'm going to slowly pull them out. I don't think I have a lot of 6x6s. The Minecraft sets weren't very generous this time. Let's see. Okay, see one there. And that's it for the 6x6s. And I'll show you a difference here in the greens. This reminds me more of like a soccer field green here, and you can see the difference. That's a little too bright for this. That's why I did not use that at all. So I don't know why I grabbed that. I think I only have 3 of these left. So come right here. Now, if I'm going to be building this up, I don't need to use these 2. But that would look kind of silly there. There might be fine. You know what? Let's focus here real quick. We're going to shove one of these. Well, no, I don't want to shove that there. That would look a little better, huh? So, and we're already up 2 plates. I need to get 2 studs. And studs are just hard to grab today. Yes, I had about 8 hours of sleep, so that's unusual for me. Why don't I just rifle through the bin instead of sorting them by color like this? It would just take too long to go through, and it's not worth my time. So I just kind of grab blindly and just go for it. And there we go. And then now I can come back in and kind of bring it back around. Yeah, I'm just a klutz today. I tell you, I've been dropping parts all over the place. And then I can put this one here if need, which I'm going to go ahead and do. If we run out, we run out. I got bigger ones than this that I can use. And put one on this corner because it's going to go around there. And then put the red one in the middle. And then this one will just rest on top of that. There we go. Now right here, we stop at a 6, so I'm going to stop at a 5. So we're getting to that point where I can get away with it a little bit. And I may need to stop for a second and get something to drink. This work, you get thirsty doing it. And put that in there. And I don't need these here. I got one more here, and I want to keep this about 5. Now I can always dip back in and do it like that too. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Do I need these for other parts of the campground? Not this size. This is too big for the final touches of the terrain, so, you know. Yeah, I think that one installment we'll do in the future will have like a bridge and stuff to go over. I still got plenty of tutorials to film for this type of a build, so I'm always going to be adding improvements to it. And then right here, I'm going to bring it back to 5 because here is 6. And I have an odd number which I was afraid of, so I'm going to get a 1x4. And in addition to a 1x4, let me get a 4x4, my bad. And then what else do we need in here? A 2x4 plate would suffice. And then set that there. Then I can set a 1x4 on top of that and just stud the bottom of this guy off here. I just need to put a stud in the corner. Okay, and then I can make that, merge it in with the 6 there. Okay, let me get the 1x4s out. As a matter of fact, I still got a bin full of pieces with stickers that I have to still remove. Oh, reddish brown. Yuck. Yeah, I've been experiencing a bunch of overflow in my my inventory, so what I got to do is start thinning out my collection a bit. It means the stuff that I commonly don't use and the stuff I use, I'll have to put them in different parts of the room and that kind of thing. Okay, so I can actually get a bunch of 4x4s and then some, you know, like 2x3s and stuff like that. So let me go and grab a couple of 4x4s. I don't know if I'll need any 4x6s, but I'll bring a couple with me here. And then, I'm not too worried about that because it's just hanging over by a stud. This one's a little lighter, but it'll be covered. And then we'll just start filling in the holes here. Maybe I will need a couple of these, huh? Well, I could get two 1x6s there and shove this here, and we got this sharp ground here. What I could do is do it like this. And then just stick, I don't think I need any more of these. Let me put these away. Kind of keep it not so cluttered this time. All right. That's why I put the extra studs below, so I can force these down a bit more here. And now, except for here, we need to start building up the terrain here. So it looks like I just need to get myself maybe a wedge plate here. And we can build this up a little bit here, and then I can taper it off here. So, out of all the 2x4 plates, I don't have anything that fits there. Or I could just do this and just have that there. You know. I mean, if I'm going to cover it up, I'm not going to see that, right? So I could just do this. I'm not going to see that. As long as I get to separate, that's all that matters. I mean, yes, it does look better there. But if I'm going to cover it up with some shrubs, there's really no point. So let's see if I can... Let me see if I can scrounge up a... If I don't trip and break my neck in here. Couple of 2x4s. All right, let's grab that bin out too, I guess. Oh, and I got to remember something here. I got to look at my cross thing here on this corner. Before I do, let's just get in here and pick up the plates that keep falling on the floor. And then that'll be it. Now I can come in here and stick a couple of these like this. You know, like put it like this. And the reason being is to kind of lift up some areas right here. So that's okay. I could do that. And we were doing this one here with the camper. I don't know how far that camper is going to go, so I can't do that there. So let me check my work here in this corner and see if that is correct. And let me, we have a 6 here. And then it jumps to 2, which is here. And then we have a 3 here. Well, it's wrapped around that edge, so we're going to leave it as a 2. So this is done right here. And let me see if I can give you a better view. That's got a nice texture to it. Okay. So now I have to turn my attention to this area here. Now I got to move on to the other piece that goes on along with it. So we don't need this one anymore. And we'll set that one down here. And I'm trying to find the correct one. And this is where we're going to be focusing on now. I don't know how I'm going to have to back the old camera up here because this thing is in my way. It's still not enough room. All right. I just need enough room here to focus in here. I need to, this now is my critical area. I just need to tie this in here with this. Once I get this corner here going, then I'm going to just, then I can turn it the other way. Because I need to get, I keep losing iPads and bricks and stuff. So today's obviously not my lucky day. And let's take a look here. This thing here does not tell me where the seam is at. My honest opinion is to kind of work my way back down here. So this right here is 2 plates. There needs to be a plate here. Let me see where the seam's at the bottom down here on the computer. And no, I'm not going to... Okay, I see how I did that. So it's 3 from the corner. I actually have mine, I think I used a 1x2 brick to hold it together. Or a 2x2, that's what I did there. Right there. So it's 3 from the corner here. Well, I have extra here. So that's okay. I mean, I could bring the ground up to here and kind of go like that. All right, now I got to get something to drink, so we're getting there. We got it figured out. Okay, so I'm probably going to shove this here because here's the joint here. Okay, and I got an angle plate here. So in order to really make this work and give it a nice soft curve, I'm already pushed in, so it doesn't really matter. I could go like this. There's already a 3 here. So I can push this in here because I don't want too much of a hard corner there. So I can do this here and here and kind of swoop it around. Or what I can do is grab something like this and do that too. See what I got in here. And I need to order more wedge plates in green. Seems like that's a color that I don't have a lot of. So there's a 3 here. I may just go like this. But there's a 3 here. It's angled like this with a notch here. So I can come in like that. Because right here, there's an angle plate here. So we'll pretend that that's angled. If I went right there, that's kind of weird. I thought I had another angle plate that I could use there. I don't. I could do is shove a 2 in there, a 4x4 right there. Or shove this right here. And it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to pop this out just to use it as a marker. And shove that in like that. But I need to build up the terrain, so I'm going to have to put the 4x4 in there. Well, yeah, I can. I can put a 4x4 in there. Oh, yeah, that's really going to come apart, huh? Oh, look how I'm going to have to really piece that together. So what I'm going to do is just pop all these out. And, well, seeing that I can actually put that in there, I'm going to go get a Technic brick and fill that in. You know, 2 wrongs don't make a right, so let's fix that real quick. And if I can even find one. Okay, we'll set that in there. And then a 2x4 will go here. Remember, there's a 3 here. I might as well just do this and then feather it out slowly. Okay. At least here I can just shove that in the back. We're on our way. There we go. And yeah. So I'm going to turn my attention to this side here. Let me get this kind of merged in here first. I'm going to save these for around up here. That would be fine. Okay. I can shove that in there. And I think that would be okay. So I could just shove that directly in there, huh? Okay. And then I can take another, well, you can't. I was like, take a 2x4 and shove it in there. No, I can only stick a 1x4 in there. So we'll go get a 1x4 and we'll place it in. All right, and we'll proceed on with that. Because I got to make sure these are separable. If I have to move this, this would be a lot easier. And as you can see here, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I got to mix it in with this. If I move it here, and yeah, it's going to give me that little inset area, but that's not too bad. Then I don't have to obscure that too much. Okay, now I want to come in here and start filling this in up here. And this is going to have a side here. I'm not too worried about it. So what I'm going to do is just grab a set of 1x2 bricks. And I'm just going to fill those 2 corners in. And I got to thinking I could put a boulder right here, huh? Just have the boulder hanging off by the road. But I want to put the boulder right here, just a small rock. If I decide to put a boulder there, I better plan it out now. But I'm not going to worry about that. So we'll hold off on that right now. I want to turn my attention to this here. And let me separate that a little bit here. And we have 3 here, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 from this end here. So I kind of want to bump it down to 13. 4, 8, 12, and 13 would be here. So I can get 2 more 2x4 plates. Now I can bring this guy up here by 1. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a 2x3 and a 2x6 to kind of lock those joints in. And then we'll start from there. Provided I can find the bin full of those. Or maybe I already have it out, I don't know. Yeah, I do have the brick form, but I need the plate form of that. Or you know what I could do would be a little better. Let's do 1x3 and a 1x6. Then I can start bringing the ground up a little more drastic in that area. I'm just going to start lifting up the terrain here a little bit. Okay, I'm going to lift it up now. Okay, how am I going to lift it up? Well, here what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick some bricks in here. Okay. Or I want to go up to the I want to go up even with this. If I shove that there, that's even. Well, you know what? Let me just take these out and let me get a 2x3 and 2x6. Then that would save me a headache there from having to stud all that in. And then then I can get me a 2x6 green. And that right here. Kind of lock that joint in there. All right, now I can come in here, and there's two things that I could do. I can come and do slopes, but in my original one, I used plates. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is continue on using plates here. So I'm going to raise this guy up here, right about here. Now, remember I said I want to put bricks behind there. I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and start raising this terrain up a bit more here. So what I'm going to do, I could literally pop all these out now. So I'm not stacking. That's a brick there. That's not bad. Here's a plate. Let me get... Do I even need that in there? Cannot even be popped out. There we go. There we go. Take that out there. And we already got 5 here. I'm looking off camera, by the way. That would make it 11 here. So here's 5 here, and 11 would be here. Yeah, that would be fine. And then here, I'm just going to fill it in with some bricks. Okay, all the way up to here. And I'm going to say here, I know somebody's going to complain about the quality. There's 3 here, and then I have the 11 there. I'm going to back that off. So 3 and 11, that's 14. I've already went 11 here. That'd be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I could push this guy back to about here, and I could actually put a full row of bricks in there at that point. So I would need to get 3 2x4 greens. Hopefully I have those. And then we'll start there. Freehanding building a plate is one thing, but tying it into a build you no longer have and you're going off of CAD software is kind of a pain, but it's worth it. And then if I need to build this up even more, which I'm going to add a little bit of terrain on top of this, I will. And here is going to be maybe a 1x2 there. Okay, and it doesn't matter if it's perfect or not. I'm not going to sweat over if it's not. What I may do is, let me take a look here. So it's 14 from this step here. This is actually higher up, and yeah, it's going to be a kind of a turd. So 14 from here, 4, 8. So I need to back away one of these here. Okay. And here I can add, this is actually higher. Does it matter? No. I'm going to get me a 4. I'm going to place a 4 here real quick. A 4 and a 4. And just to kind of give it some color, and the color is going to just fill it in. So we're only going to see one side of that. And all I'm grabbing is teal. And this light teal and green almost look the same. All right, and then I'm just going to leave this hole here for right now. And then that gives me this here. That means now I can stick a gray piece here. Boy, that just sounded like something was cracking in there. Am I breaking bricks now? Let me wiggle that out and take a look. Well, I can't get that out unless they rip that out, huh? That did not want to come out. I thought I heard something break on that. I don't know if that's a scratch or a crack. Looks like it's just a scratch. That one's fitting kind of rough, so put that back in there. Then I can get the 6. Set the 6 in here. So 14 is from that one area. Probably can go up to maybe 12. So we got 3, 6, 9, and then 12 here. And 11 would be fine. I really don't want to mix too many odd numbers into this. What I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see, 3, 6, 9, and that's 11. I can stick a matter of fact, I can back this guy out right here, stick a 2x2 brick in there, which I thought I had some over here, and then I can come in and add a couple of 1x4s in that area. And yes, that was the side that I did not want to work on. So this is the side here that's going to be kind of a challenge. And we'll shove that there. I don't care if there's a hole here because it's going to be covered. And I need to stick a 1x4 in here. And then I'm going to have to stack 2 plates on top of one another. Or maybe I don't. That hole there is throwing me off now. Well, I'm going to have to fill it in. You know what I could do is pop that out of there, stick this in here, put that in there. Maybe it's the plate underneath it, it's kind of stiff, and there you go. And at this very end here, there's an 8, I got a 7 here. I'm going to plate this off here real quick, stick a 2x3 in here, and we're going to start focusing on that corner there with, you know, I could just shove a 1x3 in there since I've already got the bin out. And I'm overflowed on 1x3 plates, hard to believe, but yeah, it's all the sets that I've been parting out. Set that there. And that's a 1x8 here, so I want to continue 1x8 here as well. And we were talking about I need to swoop back around. That'd be the perfect piece to do so right there. And then kind of go right here. I don't have an inside corner, so what I'll do is I'll probably just stick a 1x6 here and kind of just take a 1x4, just kind of build up this corner. This area here will be green, but I'm not, well, you can't even see what I'm doing up there, huh? Like I said, these are vertical builds. I don't have no way to do horizontal. So this right here, I'm going to push it right here. This will continue on from this area here. Okay. So I'm going to stick this here, and I'm just going to kind of plate around, stop here. This back here will be green, but I'm not building that piece. Then I'm going to continue back on with this guy here. I'm going to work on this corner here, and then once I get all this set up, we're going to work on this piece. We're going to go back to the one that we worked on at the beginning. So I'm going to shove this guy down here, and this is exactly what I was saying. Oh, that does not want to go down in there, huh? It's almost like there's no support here. See how that's sagging in? So something's wrong here. And I'm going to have to dissect this corner here or peel this plate up. Well, maybe we'll just have to pull the whole thing apart then, huh? There's absolutely no support in that area whatsoever. All right, well, what do I do? Well, now you see why I always put a lot of support there. I'm just using this as a pry bar just to loosen that up a little bit there. Wow, I didn't really put anything in that, huh? Just two things. Well, we will fix it up right away. Yeah, I caught myself there. So we're going to do something like that. And well, back to the drawing board. Let's make 4 more of those columns. 2. Maybe 3. And there we go. Now you see why I had to put the supports down there. I even caught myself in that. Now you see why those were important. So that's a good lesson there. Now I got to push all that back together. Kind of mash that down. Okay. Take 2. Set that back on there. I could use the smaller pieces too, but I got plenty of these. And now I can press this down without that plate bowing. And then now I can come in here, and then I can slowly kind of go around this corner here. Now remember I said I'm going to probably put a rock here, just a little rock formation. That'll be my first piece for landscaping. And so now let's turn our attention here. And I got some 1x4s or 2x4s. Thought I had another green one. So remember the campsite spur is going to be here, so I kind of want to go about here. Maybe stick something here, and then that'll be it. Or stick this like here, and then just fill this in with a 1x3. What if I put a 1x2 here? It'd be okay. Alright, so let me get a pair of 1x2 greens, and then yeah, let's. Oh, my iPad was sitting right on top of that. Ooh, okay, we're gonna have to dig those out, and pretty soon we won't be needing the iPad anymore because that part of the tray there, it's just got a little terrain up here at that point. All right, and something like this right here. So now I got this kind of going around. Now I could put a 2x4 here, and it would be fine, or a 1x4. I already got a 1x4 in there, so let's go ahead and add one more 1x2 in that area. I keep forgetting where they're at. And yeah, it's a lot of parts, huh? To make something so, going into nature is actually more complicated than making a skyscraper. And then now if you want, you can add a 1x1 here. It'd be okay, but kind of want to just kind of go around right here. I may shove a brick pillar here, kind of tickle that area. Because I'll have to bring the other guy up over here to do that. But right now I want to turn my attention to this area. Well, let's do this part here first. So there is indeed a 6 up here. Okay. I could grab one of these. That's too big. I got one of these. Stick that right there. That would be even better. So why don't I just do that? Because I got to line up with this joint here. Okay. So I think that would be perfect to kind of build this part of the terrain up here. And I think what I'm going to do is take a 2x4 and a 2x3 and fill that area in right there. And that means that that critical area will be completed. And once the critical area is done, then I can bring the other piece up here and we can continue on with the physical copy of something. So set that here. Wait a minute, I need to, wait a minute, you know what? Why don't I just do this? And then stick a 1x2 in there. I need a 2x2 and a 2x3. And there we go. So now I kind of got it going around like this. There'll be green right back there. And then I'm going to come around here. But what I want to do is focus my attention here, right in this area. I want to come around here like this. Remember I said I was going to put a rock right here? If I'm going to put a rock, it'll be right there. So I may want to come up to about here. So 2, 3, 4. 4 2x4s would be enough. Well, let's grab 4 of those and we will see exactly where that's going to go. I'm hoping I have enough shrubberies for this. So what I'm going to do here, remember we have that part of the heel, I'm going to leave this here. What I may do, well, it's got a rounded edge there. I don't want to go too crazy with that. So I'm just going to do this here. And then I could go like this, which makes more sense, and do that. Let's shove that there. And if I come in here like this, it means I could still add my rock here and add some greenery in this area. So there we go. We got this part here wrapped around. Now I want to turn my attention to that hole there. And let's see if we can get that going here. Let me find that slab. And I don't think that one is it. I gotta find it first. I got 4 pieces here. I'm missing one. I think that's it, the one that's buried under all the boxes. And yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. I always have that one that's buried. Okay. Now, I want to focus on here. Now you can see right here, here's my driveway. So I want to kind of continue on. I may not even have to put anything on that. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get me a 2x4 and a 1x4. Well, first I got to grab one in the right bin, and then what we'll do here is start placing these down, and then now I can start adding plates here. Here's a 6, it'd stick out too far. Here's a 4, and that sticks out pretty good. If I put a 6 here, it would still be lined up with this, but I don't want to make it too symmetric. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop that out and get a 2x4. I thought I would have enough to reach. I don't. And then, see, I can come in and do something like that too. I want to kind of go around that a little bit. Let me get another one. Let me get another 4x4 and kind of just drape that in there. We'll see what that looks like. Plates within plates, but remember I got a hole here to fill in. Now it's kind of jagged there. All right, so I'm just going to mash that down there. And in here, I could stick a couple of 2x3s and get right up against this edge here. I may just even finish this off. So let me go ahead and get, let's get a 2x4. And let's see here. Right about there. And then here, I can literally just come in here, leave that out, and just, it'd be fine. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is just get me 4 1x4s, and we're just going to fill that whole thing in. I really want to do the fun stuff, but okay. Now I have a camp thing here isolated, and I'm going to fix that up. That's too square there. And I'm going to take that 1x2 and just kind of plop that down in there right here. And there you go. Now I got a nice camping spur here. We got an area to relax at. And there we go. Now I have to focus my attention now to here. I don't know if I'll have all this done today. I think, I don't know how long I've been recording for. Let's take a look here. An hour and 15 minutes. Well, I had to get some other stuff. So I may just go ahead and we'll save the last part for the last installment, which is finish up this area here and adding the boulder in. We just got done with the critical stuff. So I'm going to add a boulder right here. It's going to be just a little higher than this. It's not going to shoot straight up or anything like that. I just want it to kind of taper in this area here. Put the fire ring here. Picnic table, barbecue, and stuff like that. Okay, so now I want to focus in this area here. This is already set down here, so I'm going to kind of go around like this. So maybe a 1x4 or 2x4 there. I got a 2x3. I can just shove that there and then get a 2x4 and set it here. And make sure we're still separable. And then now I want to kind of bring this around to right here. And I got a couple of these here too that I could use. And that would be fine. That'd look okay. And it's okay to have a little green there too. I can use the smaller one here, shove that there, and then I can continue on with it like that and run a little plate right here. And honestly, that doesn't look too bad. Remember, like I said, I'm going to have flowers and stuff in here, so you won't see a lot of this. Or I can push this guy back here. And I got this little hard corner there. I don't think I have any more of those corner plates in here. The little 3x3 ones. I don't see them. Yeah, okay, so that might be fine. Let's set that in there like that. I was hoping to, I mean, it's fine the way it is. I shove that there, and I'm just going to go ahead and commit to it. It's not too terribly bad. And then right here, I can just shove a 1x2 plate in that area there to kind of make it not so hard. And now it kind of just goes down. And then right here, take the squareness out of that corner. I can go like that. That looks a little better. Okay. Uh-oh. We got a problem. Okay, that was my first time doing that. I think it's that corner piece that we just put in here. This little booger here. I'm tired of hearing that rattling up against the wall. There we go. That was it. Okay, well, we can't put that there. I want to rip that out. I could put this one here and just plate that in. Let's do that. Because it's easier to work. Just imagine if I had this on a big giant table, it'd be hard to work in the middle. So if I shove this guy here, it means I can stick a plate here, another one here, and it would round around here. Okay, and then I can just come around in this area here. So just stick a 1x2 here, and then here I can stick maybe, I can put a 2x3 here and a 1x2 here. As long as I'm not, well, remember I don't want to make that same mistake again. So let me get a 2x3. I mean, we don't need to be making mistakes all night. I never get this done. That doesn't help if that's in a dark corner of the room. Yeah, I think we're done with the rain for a few days out here, so I don't think there'll be any more rainstorms going to happen. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and grab a 1x6. Let's get a 1. If I put a 1x6 here, that would be fine. Or I could just stick a 1x2 here. Put a 1x4 there. I mean, I got this squared corner. Well, let's see here. Let's grab a 1x6 here and see what it looks like. And we'll take a look. Okay. Leave a little bit like this. Okay. And then we got a hard corner there. I don't like that. Soften it up a little bit now. There you go. And there's your area. I'm going to leave this here open. Here's where the rock is going to be. Okay. And when I do this here, I want to keep the rock on this base, but I don't want to split a rock down the middle. That's just kind of sloppy. So I may take out these green pieces, or just blend it in here. I don't know. Well, let's say if we were to start the rock, what would we be using? I'm just going to build a kind of like a little boulder here that kind of just tapers around like this. Okay. And in order to do that, I'm going to need some... Well, you know what? Maybe we can put the boulder in there. Maybe I may wrap this whole thing up in this installment here. The first thing we're going to need is some slopes. And I got a big, giant boot box full of them. And let's kind of take a look here and see. I'll show you a bunch of oddball slopes. And you could use something like this and shove this here, like that. Okay, and that would essentially give you a boulder there. Okay. Just have it kind of protruding in that corner a little bit. These are also not so bad too. Then I don't want to go too high here. I don't need to have something that's like a tower in this corner. That's not going to look good. So let's say I were to just start placing things down. Making boulders, just from my experience in putting them together, first off, don't make it look too universal. And two, it kind of looks tacky with it sitting right on green like that. So I hate to think I'm going to have to pull that out, but I don't want a big boulder here. So I can come in here and do something like this, and that would be fine right there in that corner. So let me get this thing out of the way here. I think we're done with this slab here. I got 5 slabs. I'm working on the last one. One of them is still not done yet. So I'm going to look for some of these 2 brick high ones here. I'm just going to shove these in here like this. And I don't want to make a boulder too hard. So I'm just going to see if I got any more of those 2x2 ones. Then we'll use some of these softer slopes like these to kind of go on the top. So we're going to kind of have it tip in there a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to have to, they don't make an outside corner one, so how do I deal with it? I don't know. I'm just going to take some smaller slopes and shove them in here. And then I'm just going to wrap this boulder around in here a little bit. So I'm just going to come in here and do this. Just start sticking those in there. And in here it's got a hole. I may just put some smaller slopes in here too. Let's see what we got in here. I can take this 1x3, kind of just have it sitting in here like that. And it looks okay. And then this has got a squared edge. I'm not going to worry about it because I'll just take one of those little cheese slopes and shove a cheese slope in here and one up here to kind of blend that in. All right. That's what I'm trying to point out in doing boulders is that kind of stuff here. And let's say I were to shove that there. And this part's tucked into the ground. If I don't like that, what do I do? If I don't like that, I'm going to pop this out, stick a brick in there. And since this is already gray, I'm going to get a 45-degree slope and a gray brick. I'm going to marry those two together. And I'm going to grab a 2x2 just in case. And then we're going to go ahead and set that in there. This may not work, I don't know. That could be better if I use this one here. Like that. What if I were to come in here and do something like that? That looks pretty good, as is. If I shove that in there, then I got a little bit of a hard corner. What can I do about that right there? Well, I haven't finished landscaping this area yet. But for some reason I want my boulder to come out like that. Then I have this green piece right here at the bottom that's exposed. So I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is do this. Take a little slope in here, it's fine. And then I'm going to start going up on the top of this. Now I can come in here and do that. I got a hole here I'll have to fill in, but if I do that, then I can come in here and do this like that. Stick a little slope here and a slope here to take out some of the squareness of this. And that'd be pretty cool. And then just come in here and do that. Now I got some of these, I think these are 18 degrees. I could shove that in there too and just kind of have it really slowly spill into this. Means I can come in here. That's a little too hard. I want to round it the other way. So I'll just take a slope and just put one back in here to kind of have it just kind of have it drag right in here. Just kind of have it flow into the camp spur a little bit. And we'll take this one here and I'll have to backplate this one here a bit. And put that on there like that. Set that in there. And now you can see now I got this nice texture here. just got to fill in that square corner. And we got one more spot here. Would that fit in there? That's a little too tall. And I need to get a 45-degree slope in there. Let me go get one real quick. And yeah, we're just going to put the boulder in there and call it a day. And then we can continue on with... so this installment's going to be long today. For the... Oh, come on, I know I have a bunch of those in there. I just parted a set out with a bunch of those. You're telling me I don't have any more 1x2s? There we go. And then... Oh, no, don't you dare spill. And... let's see here. Now I got to be careful. I don't want to shove that in. I need to put a plate underneath this too. I'll grab a gray one. And we're still recording. That's good. And that's pretty much what it is. I just now need to finish some of this up here. I have a brick in here. What I may do is see if I can pop this brick out here and put a slope or something in that too. So I need to get this. I think it was a 1x4 that I'll have to pop out. Remember the trick I showed you? It'll work with this, or do I need an actual 1x4 to do it? There we go. And then here, I may have to stick something underneath if I could do that. It's too hard. Or I can stick a gray piece in here and just use a 1x2 in there in this place. And then here, I'm going to stick a plate and a little slope here. Kind of bring that up a little bit. Maybe 2 plates and one of those little cheese slopes. So stick this right here. I'm not going to commit to it. I'm just going to tack it in there. Should clear that. Looks like it does. We'll put a slope here. And then on the top of this, you can leave it like that. Leave it studs, because rocks are not usually smooth at the top. Or you can tile, but then you'll have that squared edge. So that's totally up to you how you want to do it. I may just put some little slopes up here and just piece it together. All right, so let's do that real quick. Let me get the bin of 1x1s, because 1x1s are a little easier to manage. First I have to find that bin. Usually when I don't have company over, I usually don't pick this stuff up often. It just sits here, but everything kind of got rearranged. And yeah. Okay, now we're going to start softening up our boulder. Take some cheese slopes. And what we're going to do is, that seems a bit hard there. So I think what I'm going to do is pop that guy out with everything else with it. And I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to get me you know what I could do is take that out, stick a 2x2 in there, and do it like this. And then what do we do about this area here? I can stick a tile in there or something like that. That'd be fine. And then we're going to have our rock kind of spill out here on the side of the heel. Now remember, this is going to be joining up, so I think this is a little higher. I really don't want to do that with the green. It's fine, but like right here in this corner here, I could do something like that. That's a little too hard. Or what I can do is get a you know, or a 1x2 plate or a 1x2 slope, stick it in there. But I think what I'm going to do is stick a plate in here. And we'll just kind of leave that there. And the studs also look like little pebbles too. So I'm just going to do that. And just kind of do it right there. And I could just take a tile or something and set it here. All right. Put that there. I mean, if there's green underneath, there's nothing you could really do about it. I shove that there, and I can put a tile here, and it looks pretty good. And that's fine there. I mean, we got the green there. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. And in here, I need to really do something about that cord. I'm gonna stick this little boulder right in this hole here. Now I got to be careful because I got that heel that's going in here. I forgot about that. I may just pull this guy out here. I don't even know what time it is. 2:30. This guy up here was fine. I think that's, no, this went down here. This one went up on the top. I don't even remember how it went. Remember, I'm going to have this other side adjoining. I may have to set that one up now. I've only got 4 of these sheets done here. And that's all we have left on this one, too. So, yep, seasick motion, guys. Whoever's, read the description. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to have to taper this off. So now I'm glad I checked. Well, what that means is I can come in here and shove a bigger slope here and get another one of those, or take that 2x2. Well, at least I can grab that later on and do that. And then I can come in here and do that if I want to. Okay, but I want the rock to kind of seal in here. And yes, building rocks does get a little challenging, especially when you're trying to do this hard stuff. If I do that, then I can actually shove some pebbles down in there. Okay. I'm going to go and get me a green 1x3, and we're going to kind of get that corner there done. You know, they've been having talks about earthquakes out here, and the shelving unit that I'm using to hold all my builds on is kind of not earthquake sounds. I need to really get in there and fix it up a bit to where if something were to happen, it won't fall on me. So it needs to be fortified up a bit. I got enough slopes going that way. We'll do that. And I'll stick some tiles or something down in there. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. Looks pretty rugged there. Here's fine. And here is the part that's joining up with this. I'm not sure how I want to do this part here yet. Seasick warning. Like that. Or like this. Or I can just leave that out altogether and just not do anything. Okay. I'm not worried about the holes up here because I'm just going to take some slopes and kind of fill in at the top with some tiles. What am I going to do here? Remember, the mountain's going to be kind of coming up this way. You know what I could do is I could just put I could stick a 1x2 or a 2x2 brick here. Just a 2x2 brick. And what would that do? I can actually fix an offset and blend the rock right into it. Let's say I come in here and do that, like that. And that means I'll have to get a stud there because that's only held in with one corner. I'm not worried about that because remember I got to come around like that anyways and cover that up. Now that means I can come in here, take a 1x2 slope, and just do that. And I need to find another one of those 1x2 slopes that's very evasive. I think because they're smaller, they float down to the bottom. Now you see why the rocks take forever. Alright, so stick that right there. And then here, I'm just going to stick a little slope. If I can get a gray one, all I'm pulling out is like pink and stuff. I see them, but every time I reach in there and grab one, it's some oddball color. Something like that. Okay, now we got to fill in the top. And what I'm thinking of doing with the top of this, I know it's not going to be a little volcano. I think what I'm going to do is kind of leave the studs on the top. I've done it on a few of my other ones too. Because boulders are rough. They're not smooth. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in this hole here with, let me get a pair of 1x2s, and then what I could do is I can just add some slopes to the top of these here and flat tile it off. Okay. That means that this guy right here, I can just shove this all the way down in here. Yes, it's sunk in a little bit, but we'll get another one. And then I can just put slopes around it. But if I'm going to flat tile on the top of these, I may not want to do that, because then I'll have studs protruding at the top. So like right here, I would just do this, put a tile on top, and it'll make my boulder a little bit more smoother. So let's start adding our slopes here like this. Some places I may have to just use some tiles. Like right here, I'll just use some round tiles, because they don't make an inside corner for these. And if you want to put moss on yours, just maybe use some sand green or something, or some dark green slopes with it. If you know which way is facing north, or if you're in the southern hemisphere, the south side. Okay, I may have to get me another container and start pulling some of these out. Okay, where's the container at? We're done with studs for right now. Yeah, when you start getting to this point, I guess gray must not be very common, because I'm pulling out every other color but that. And then that'll lead me to stick a like here I'll stick 2 plates in a tile, or just stick some studs in a tile in there. But unfortunately, I may see it, so I may stick a studs plate and then a tile on the top. And then right here, a corner, or not a corner, another one here. Now we're almost done here, folks. Now I just need to get a tile, and let me get some round tiles and stuff. I think we're done with this. I might be able to put one more down in there to kind of have it blended in here. There we go. Just kind of have it spill off into the hill there. Let's take a look and see. Take a look at everything and Yeah, it looks pretty good. And if your gray slopes are slightly different shades, it's even better. Yeah, I did have somebody complain in one of my other videos about the camera shakiness, and I looked in the description, and I did have the disclaimer. So please, guys, you know, I can't prevent myself from bumping into the tripod. You know, some people think I actually have a camera crew with me. No, I'm a one-man team here. I mean, that's how it is. You know, oh, Jay, why don't you make this better? Well, hire me a camera guy and I'll do it. Okay. They do make those half-round tiles. I may shove those in there. And for these round ones, you could. Let me get the half-round ones here. We'll try those out. Those round ones look more like stepping stones, like pebbles. Or little rocks, but I need something that's more finished off, and then I'm going to need to finish up the top of those. I got this guy here. Let's find some half ones in here. Like that. That kind of fills it in. Makes you want to go camping, huh? There we go. And then I could put one right there. Just to kind of make it kind of just peel off a little bit. I'm going to leave that stud there alone. I'm going to put one right there. Right in this corner here. That'll help if I get it in the right way. Now we got the rocks kind of coming off the edge here. And then, yeah, I could put one there. There's not going to be a whole lot of rocks in this, so. Like set one here. Kind of looks like it. Then I'll put one here. These are oddball tiles that I have that I've been accumulating. So I kind of keep them in here in their own little drawer. I used to have mixed with the round ones and they got overflowed. So I kind of just did that. Honestly, the fire pit would look good right here. I won't know until I get the campers in here to kind of size it up. All right, let's put these slopes in here. I'm starting to grab a bunch of odd colors now. I'm grabbing the right piece, just in the wrong shades. Let's put this one here. Like I said, I'm just trying to build up terrain a little bit here. And once I get more, I'll pull them out. Oh, I don't need that, it's a half round. Here's a full round that's not supposed to be in there. Sometimes when I go through my parts, I'll end up finding pieces that don't belong in the bins. There we go. And then we'll take our last one, we'll put it right there. So now I got this rock formation right here that's kind of just pouring out of the side of the hill. Okay, so that's what it looks like there. Now, let's turn my attention to this top part here. We're going to fill those two things in real quick. So I need to get me two 1x2 flat tiles, and a 1x2 plate. I bet that is buried in the back, and yes it is. If I had some of those little ridge pieces, I'd drop them in there too. I kind of want to flat top the top of the boulder off just a little bit there. And there we go. And that looks pretty good. This one here, let's grab, I don't need the iPad anymore because I'm done with mapping that out. So whoever camps here and has a very large motorhome, you're going to be scraping up your paint job on it. You know what, let me get some gray in there since there's a bunch of little cracks around that area. And then stick that in there like that. And there we go. A nice little rock there. Okay, not too bad. Looks pretty good. And that's it. That's the rock part there. And now I need to come in here. We need to finish this up here. This piece here tied it into here. That's why I did that. Now, if I want to, I think we'll leave it like that. What I could do is I can stick a 1x2 green plate here, kind of soften that up a bit, and that looks a lot better. This is fine here. Now I need to come around here. I don't think I have any more of those 3x3s. Could use this one here. This one kind of sticks out, so I don't want to use that. So I think what I'm going to do is take a 2x2 plate, or just take a pair of 1x2 since those are always plentiful. Set these in here. And I'm going to take probably a 2x3 and kind of go around the bottom there. Okay, so let's get a 2x3. And yes, I'm really in the mood to work on this booger today. I haven't stopped. So this is going to be a very long installment here. Hopefully by then I'll have my tiny house done and have more disk space on the disk. And then I'm going to come in here. We're going to swoop back around. So I'm going to shove this guy here like that. And I'm going to get a 1x4 plate. And kind of go around that corner there. Okay, so remember there's going to be a piece right here. All right, let's take a look here. Let's put the other one that goes with it to kind of see what this campsite's going to look like here, of course. And I don't trust myself. My luck, I'd hit that and it'd spill all over the place. But there you go. Looks pretty good. Okay, now I have one more piece left, and that is the one that goes here. Okay, don't need that anymore. That means now we got 5 pieces done. We got one more left to do. And now I want to turn my attention to this side here. And yes, it's a bad angle, but I'm very limited on camera space. All right. So now I want to tie it in from here to here. So far it looks pretty good, except for this hole right here. Okay, now I can come in here and start plating. This is a plate here. So I could come in here right now and just literally start going ham on this edge. So I'm going to get a bunch of gray bricks, and then we will proceed with that. And then that shouldn't be too hard to do. And if I see green in here, I'm going to pull it out. Because we're going to need a lot of green here. Okay, here we go. Now we got to finish. Remember, we're still working on our Mills plate here too. And then right here, You know what I could do is well, I'm going to have to shove this here. I could stick a 1x4. Let's stick a 1x4 here. Just to kind of strengthen that up as much as we can. And I think I have a gray one in here somewhere. And then we can start building up the terrain. And I'm just going to mix a little bit of bricks and slopes and stuff like we did with the other ones. Okay. All right. That means now I can come here and continue on my plates here. I may do that just to raise up the bricks and the slopes. So it's kind of like going like this. Like, whoosh, jumps right on top. Okay? That's pretty much how I'm going to do that. And this one here is a little higher. So I can't shove this here. I may be able to shove a slope here. That means I can take this guy and set it here and then jump on top. Okay. So, well, we can't put that there, huh? I'm going to leave this guy here. I just need to build this up a little bit more. And hopefully after this we could do a whole entire shot of all 6 plates together, or I may have to do a snapshot on it. And then right here, okay, let's start right here first. Remember I was talking about just putting some green plates in there. I also like to keep it up a little higher than the road. This right here is flush. I want to kind of keep this up just a little higher so it looks like it's dug in. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is pop this plate out and get the studs. And let's start studying things in. I think I have more gray than I need. Do I have another one of those empty containers in here? Because I have a feeling I'm going to need it. The beauty about doing terrain is you can get a little rough on some stuff. Make a little cobblestone and we'll kind of set that down in there. Now I got the right height. And then I can proceed on doing more of these if needed. I mean, this is all that's left. And then we're ready to start adding the trees to it. It's starting to look a little more like a little more homely than like a little campground versus just an empty, like just a dirt racetrack or something. And we'll set this one here. This guy here is a bit higher. What I'm going to do is take a 2x2, and then I'm going to drop that down by a level. Okay. Yeah, but these are really, these videos here, not only for your entertainment, but for my reference as well. So we'll do that. And then I'll come in here and I'll just stick plates on this. I may just take a 1x3 plate and go here, or a 2x3 plate, and just kind of blend that in. It'd be faster to put plates there. And see, like bricks, I can come in here and stack more brick up in that area. Let me get a 2x2 and we'll build another column for that one. Or I could grab a 1x2. Let me grab a 1x2 and a 2x2. And I need some more of those green ones. I've seen a bunch in the bin, but they're at the bottom. I'm going to have to really get in there and dig those out. Okay, I found one. Found a bunch in one hand. Whoa, I better grab those. I may never see those again. There we go. think the best thing is to shove a full-size one in here and stick a 1x2 in there. And just about there, guys and gals. Usually it's the home stretch that takes forever to complete. Sometimes those brown studs look like mouse poop. That's why you keep your Lego in a very sealed box. Sometimes I'll get used Lego and I'm like, where has this been? You know, just like that. Plug it right in there. It means I'll have to do one here. Something like that, I can leave that higher there. So like that would be fine. And then here, I can just stick a slope in here or something. I can stick a slope here to kind of break it up a little bit more. Have that spot a little lower than the road. And then here, I can just stack 2 bricks on top of one another and fill that in there. See? And then I could just come in and plate part of that in if I choose. I may just do so. I'm going to get over here and fill it in. I think we were talking about that would be easier to do that. And here, might be just easier to take another 1x2 brick and then lift it up. Now remember, it's nature, it's not perfect, so you can get a little rough with it too. And then I'm going to go ahead and get a 1x3, a 1x4, and a 1x2, or a 2x3. Let's find that first. And 1x4, and I got 1x2s right over here. Okay. And we'll set that there. Put this here. That means I can set this right on top of that there. And then here will be this. It's kind of sloppy, but we haven't finished it up yet. You know what? I'm going to pop that out all the way, including the plate. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't look good there. Now it looks a little better. And then here I'm just going to stick a 1x2 brick with some studs. And then we will backfill it in. Okay, so it's a little jagged there. Don't worry about that right now. I can come in here and that's what I was saying. I'm hanging on to some studs because then I can just take these studs and then I can just soften up my road just a little bit there. Just give it a little bit more of a rounded, soft thing. And here we got a light green. And then, oh, it looks fine the way it is. Now I got to focus my attention here. And then I got to come in here. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and stick bricks in here at this point. Right here. Just to build this up a little higher. Maybe not. Yeah, we'll just stick some plates here and then some bricks. And that'll be it. Let's tackle that hole there. And yeah, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do... Oh, that's right, we were talking about putting slopes in that area. Just to kind of give that a little bit of a different texture. So let me grab a 1x2 and a 2x2. And now all the 1x2s are poking out, huh? One thing bad about these storage containers, sometimes they got those little tabs to keep the drawer from coming out all the way. It's almost impossible to get the drawers back in. Now, I'm going to have that tucked inside the road a little bit there. So, like I said, to give it a little bit more of a texture in this area here. And let's see. I'm going to get myself a 2x4 and a 1x4 here. Kind of match that up a bit. 2x4 and a 1x4. And we will set that there. This is a little hard right here, that's fine. And then I can come in here. Well, I could come in here, put a 6 here, a 4 and a 6. And that would be enough for me. And then I'll kind of just put a plate at the top there. Well, what I could do, I got a little bit of a step here. I want to just bring this guy out. Stick this here. And there we go. It hides all that. And then I'm going to need to pop this out. I'm going to set it right here. The reason being is to build it for the top right here. Stick this here. And yeah, let's see here. I can put this 1x2 right here. Or I may just put a little bit of a stone right in that area. And if I put this here, that looks even better. I'm going to get another one of those in gray. When I do the trees, I don't know if I'm going to do it in this installment. And the reason why I'm just hesitant, because it'll spoil it after that. I don't want to have any spoiler alerts or anything like that. You know, like have the project spoiled and you guys kind of know what the outcome is. I think this is going to be my last installment for this series. So it's just going to be the campground terrain, and that's it. Because the trees and stuff, I kind of want to, you know, I don't want to spoil the project too much for those who enjoy this type of stuff. And it just wouldn't be fair. Okay, but it's still separable. I want to make sure. I don't want to permanently join those together and have to take it apart, and I need more of the dark green ones here. Okay. And that's what it looks like. So now you can see now I have this nice, looks like a horseshoe. Rocks here frame this corner in. It looks really good. Now let's do some final tweaking in here. And I think what we're going to do, and we're going to wrap this up. And I don't think I'm going to be doing the trees in this type of installment. It just, I think we're just going to call this terrain building here. Trees and stuff are pretty much the same as I've always done. Let me put that back there. So what I'm going to do is take some of these little slopes. I'm going to pull out the gray ones again. And I'm going to put little boulders back in here. So it kind of look like the rock is just kind of slightly protruding out from this corner here. Okay, there's got to be gray in here somewhere. Okay, something like that. Okay. So it looks like we got a little bit of a rock protruding out of that corner. And we can put a little bit more here, just some little stones. Well, see, that's what I was looking for. I didn't know I had any of those. And yes, I'm using Tupperware to hold these slopes in. Hey, it works. And we'll put a little bit of a rock there. But I don't want to fill the whole thing up because I want to have enough to put some plants in there. And I think the plants, like I said, I think I'm going to do that, and you'll have to see that in the final build of the thing. This is just meant to show you the terrain. I may just name these as terrain building. Something like that right there. Give it some rocks. Matter of fact, why don't I just pop this one out here? Just, I don't know, I just don't like that. Why don't I just do it like this? There we go. Now it looks a little better here. No, don't you dare fall off. I don't want to be picking that up. I can't put anything with the road, but I'm going to put one right over here, just a little lone rock. And I think that is it. All right, so I'll give you a better view of it here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and save my progress. Pick all this up. I'm going to set it up, and I'm going to show you what it looks like all done. I think this is going to be impressive. So we'll see. Hold on. Let me change angles real quick. Okay, I hope I have enough space here. If not, I'll have to readjust. But I got my friction pins, and I have these. Now we're going to start joining things together to see exactly what this looks like. So first I got to find the last campsite spur, and we're going to start putting these things together. So let me get this situated here, and I'll show you how all this goes together here and how am I going to do this on a very limited space. So that's what the friction pins are for. I'm just going to stick a few pins in here like this, or I could stick them in the middle holes. And it's like big giant Lego bricks. And then I need to find the road that has the other portion of this in here. Like this is it. It's better to do this on a flat surface. And I'm going to have to slide that together like that. Now I have one big piece. Okay. And I got some of these I made to kind of tuck under here. I'm going to have to do that. Gives me, I think, the right height. Stick that in the joints. It's just as strong. And now I want to get the other piece that we just worked on with the rock. And making sure I'm recording here so you can see how this all goes together. That's how the guys do the big giant displays at those brick conventions and stuff. You don't think they built all the stuff and had it sent in with a big truck. And there you go. Let me see here. And there we go so far. I'm just going to slide this right in here. And, or I can just put these in the middle here. I need to put one more here. And now is the other one for, of course, that's the very last one, is this. And you won't be able to do all these with holes. Now you could just stick these together, but I think I'm just going to slide it in like this. Okay. You saw how much time it took me to put this thing together. It better look pretty good. And see, I can't put anything on this side here, so that kind of works out. So I'll have to make another one of these little platforms to slide underneath here. So let me make one more of those real quick. And I just used some 6x6 plates and some 2x3 plates. Just some parts that I just grabbed real quick and to kind of build it up, because that lift is actually 2 plates and a stud high. And just to kind of fill it in. This is just kind of like a run through when I do the campground tour. That's what I'll be doing. Okay, and then now I can take this guy, and then I'm going to pull this out a little bit. There we go. Yeah, some of these are not quite squared. Plus I don't depend on the table or the wall to square it off. And here we have the last one. When it comes to the end here, I'll probably have to put some plates or something to hold that in. It's better to build on a whole mill's plate like this one here. Only got one stud to connect that to. How do you connect this? There's really no way you can do that. You can't just do that. So I'm just going to shove it in like this here. I got this little support piece here, and there we go. That's pretty much it. What the campground will look like, and that's I don't know. I know that's 64. I think it's 64 by 96 studs. It's not too bad. It's just 32 stud long base plates. And sorry about the glare. Let me see if I can get a better shot at this. And I got Lego bins all over the place here, and that is what it looks like. So I'm going to give you, let me focus this in, and I'll give you, oh, let's just throw the campers on there too. We'll make sure here. And then I'll have to back all these up in stud. So let me find the campers. And no, the tiny house will not be included in this version because that's completely different here. And let's start. First off, I'm missing my side mirrors. This one's going to go here. So let's say we got our slide out sticking out here. This guy's going to back all the way up against there. It gives me enough room for a fire ring, picnic table, and barbecuer. And this power cord is what's kind of, there we go, kind of get them out of the road there. And then I got this one that goes here. Got to be careful with that. This one's got to slide out. So I put the slide out like this and back this up. There we go. That's a pretty big campsite for this one here. So that'll sit there. We even have the stands up on this one. No, I don't. And yeah, there we go. I need the cozy camper to complete the build. Okay, I found the cozy camper, and that's going to go right there. That's what she looks like right there. Just imagine now having trees in here and stuff. I'm going to fix that real quick there. That just kind of looks too square there. Let me fix that squareness up on that one campsite spur real quick. I've been talking about it. This one here just kind of looks kind of blocky. So we're going to take the blockiness out of it here. This is a good time as any to make sure that everything's tweaked up, ready to go. None of my campers are sticking outside or anything like that. I can move this one a little over here a little bit. So that gives me enough room here to probably put the barbecuer, picnic table, and then the fire ring here, and it gives me enough room for a vehicle. This is supposed to be like a tent site, but I stubbed a little one in there, and then just park a car right there. And yeah, that's it. I think that's it, what we're going to do for the installment. So just imagine now with all the accessories and the trees and stuff. So I'm not going to focus on that in this installment series. It's not really relevant to this build at this point. I want to leave that as the icing on the cake. So right now I just showed you how to build, well, pretty much show you my methods of terrain, different building ideas and stuff like that. So now I have everything ready to go. All that remains is accessories. So now the mills plates are done. That's it. I'm going to back all these up in stud. That could take about a week or two. And then once these are done, then I can add the foliage, log where all the parts are going to go on that, and then I can back that up and ready to go. Okay, so at least now I have all the building guides and stuff for everything. So tell me what you think. So this concludes the installment series for building the terrain for the 2023 campground. And yeah, I'm already ready to go camping. Now we just got to add the fun stuff to it. So tell me what you think. Looks like this is going to be a good project.